see him? You want to believe it.
Is he
not real?
Is he there?
You're alone in these mountains.
Is that Delia?
Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree.
What's he trying to tell you?
He's waiting for you by the tree.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram. Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge ground, answering trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the tree of death will take you to new lands, where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you.
Find it.
The metal. The runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards. Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we?
Where is she?
It feels wrong.
Where are we now? Burial mound. It's so strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
You can feel the dead. Turn back.
Why would you bring her here? It's not safe. Why would you do something so dangerous? Dale would never do that.
Never risk her.
He loves her too much. He loves her. It's not the truth. He loves her.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
Don't go in there.
Go in. You have to go in.
Take the torch.
It's too dark. Take it. This will help you.
Careful.
You have to be able to see.
Who's there? Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember? I'll find him.
What's that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where
hear
is he?
him?
Where is he?
He sounds like he's getting further away.
Have you lost him?
You're going. Don't touch the walls.
You don't know what they might do.
Turn back.
She has to keep going.
It's not safe here.
She has to keep going.
If you go down there, no one can save you.
It's too scary.
Find another way. It's not working.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find another way.
Think. Focus. Use your mind.
Where's he gone? He's disappeared.
You let him slip through your fingers once again. Think clearly. You have to find another way. There has to be another way.
Herva disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunt. Herva disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were big enough. Down.
Dillian,
There he is.
finally, you found him.
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me?
How did you let him go again?
Just wait there. I'll find you.
How could you? You have to find him.
This is your mission.
Find him. You have to use everything you have and find him. Get him back.
He was just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him?
How could she?
Find him.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herva calls on her.
Finish her!